Hello, I'm Sandy Smordin, Senior Counsel at Smordin Law. At Smordin Law, we accept legal aid certificates for charges ranging from theft to murder. Getting you access to justice and proper legal representation is important to the lawyers and staff of my firm, and that is why we accept legal aid retainers, even on complex and serious matters. Legal Aid Ontario is an independent but publicly funded and publicly accountable nonprofit corporation set up to administer the province's legal aid program. Legal Aid Ontario receives most of its funding from the Ontario Government and the Law Foundation of Ontario. You can find Legal Aid Ontario offices in Guelph located within the courthouse. The courthouse is located at 36 Wyndham Street South. When your matter is in court, Legal Aid Ontario offers the assistance of duty counsel, who are usually staff lawyers working for Legal Aid Ontario. Duty counsel lawyers can assist you in doing adjournments, non-complex or multi-day bail hearings, and non-complex guilty pleas. Unlike a private lawyer who accepts a legal aid certificate as retainer like we do at Smordin Law, duty counsel lawyers will meet you on the day of your matter at court, and their role is to assist you on the spot. If you return to court a few times, they may become slightly more familiar with your case, but a private lawyer will dedicate time reviewing your case with you and assessing your matter in depth. Additionally, duty counsel are not your personal lawyer. You cannot book office meetings with them, request a specific duty counsel lawyer when you are arrested, contact them on evenings or weekends, or have them assist you with other matters that may come up during your case, such as interviewing a complainant or witness. Under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, Section 10B guarantees you the right to select your own lawyer. If you do not have a lawyer, upon arrest the police must provide you a toll-free 1-800 number to call to speak to a free Legal Aid Ontario lawyer. This is a 24-hour phone number. However, having your own lawyer, especially in serious situations, is crucial. At Smordin Law, we provide legal advice in the middle of the night and for lengthy periods of time. This is what you need when you are arrested. Our advice, when followed correctly, could assist you in getting bail, could assist you in having charges dropped or reduced to less serious charges. We can assist you in understanding why you should decline being interviewed by the police after you've been arrested. The information we provide and the amount of time we spend with you at the first point of contact is simply not something that duty counsel lawyers are able to offer due to their limitations of acting as your temporary legal representative. Applying for Legal Aid Ontario can be difficult and confusing. The skilled professionals at Smordin Law can help you with the process. We are familiar with the requirements in making a legal aid application and can attend with you to make your application. There is a 1-800 number that you can call. However, you will still need information regarding your charges and your finances that you may be unfamiliar with. Rather than starting from scratch in unfamiliar territory, we can assist you and help you with your application. In order to obtain a legal aid certificate, you must be both financially eligible and looking at the possibility of a jail term if you are convicted of the crime that you are charged with. Legal aid does not fund those who are not at risk of going to jail, except in certain circumstances. Some of those circumstances include being part of a vulnerable group, such as having a diagnosed mental health issue or substance abuse issue. Other circumstances that may help qualify you for funding would be in cases of domestic abuse, where you find yourself charged with a domestic violence type of crime, such as assault, and have suffered previous abuse at the hands of your accuser. Regarding financial eligibility, you must earn under a certain income. Your living arrangements and number of dependents are taken into consideration when you are being assessed. Keep in mind, the thresholds to qualify are very low. For example, a single person supporting him or herself must make less than $15,000 a year to qualify. If your income is only slightly higher than the cutoff, you may still be eligible but asked to sign a contribution agreement under which you would be required to make monthly payments back to Legal Aid Ontario. At Smordin Law, we can assist you in understanding a contribution agreement before you sign it. It is always best to get legal advice before signing any contract, let alone one that obligates you to pay back your legal funding, especially when your freedom could be at risk. There are also instances when your legal aid application will be denied. There is an entire appeal route that you can take, But again, negotiating through this can be difficult and confusing. In order to request that a decision be reviewed, legal aid sometimes requires legal justification and an in-depth explanation about the complexities of your case. The lawyers at Smordin Law can help you with this, as we have done for many others. Just because you've been denied legal aid does not mean that you are at the end of the road. A Robotham application is a motion that is brought in front of a Superior Court judge. In some cases, you may be denied legal aid because you do not financially qualify. However, you do not have enough income to necessarily retain an experienced and senior lawyer to help you with your case. In serious and complex matters, it would not be expected that you could or should represent yourself. In this circumstance, we argue on your behalf that the court should order that your defense be funded by Legal Aid Ontario. Another variation of a Robotham application is sometimes called a Fisher application. In this motion, you've been granted legal aid funding, but want to choose a specific lawyer to represent you. You may find yourself in this type of situation if, for example, you've fired your lawyer and would like to have a different lawyer. If legal aid denies this request and determines that you need to either stay with your original lawyer or use a staff duty counsel lawyer, we argue on your behalf that you have the right to counsel of choice. Given that Legal Aid Ontario normally does not fund those not looking at a jail sentence, youths are routinely denied coverage. Section 39 of the Youth Criminal Justice Act speaks to when a young person can be put in custody if they are found guilty or plead guilty. The courts can only place a young person in jail if they have committed a serious violent crime such as an armed robbery, if they are on multiple probation orders at the time of a new crime and are charged with breaching multiple probation orders, if the young person has committed an indictable offense for which an adult would be sentenced to more than 2 years and has prior convictions under the Youth Criminal Justice Act, and in exceptional circumstances where there are aggravating factors such as racially motivated crimes. As you can imagine, there are many charges that will not attract any jail time for a young offender, which is why legal aid normally denies legal aid certificates to young persons. Another reason youths are normally denied coverage is because legal aid takes household income into consideration. And if a young person is residing with a parent, parents, or another adult, Legal Aid Ontario takes the position that another person, such as a parent, should fund the young person's defense. In both of these circumstances, we bring an application under Section 25 of the Youth Criminal Justice Act in the Ontario Court of Justice and argue as to why funding should be granted to the young person. Please contact us if you need help making a legal aid application, have been denied a legal aid certificate and need help with an appeal, or if you are under 18 and have received a notice of refusal from legal aid. For more information, visit www.legalaid.on.ca and call us toll-free at 1-844-525-0005 so we can get your application started today.